This video and its content has been rated G for general audiences, explored by LumaFusion, published to YouTube, and has been given the annual support from viewers like you.
Thomas the Tank Engine's rolling along. All of his friends will be coming along. Thomas, we love you. Thomas, we love you. Thomas, we love you.
If you ever traveled on the Ffarquhar branch line for a nice and quiet journey, you may actually instead get bounced around like peas in a frying pan on one of Thomas and Bertie's stupid races. You might also want to buy a pair of headphones for when they argue over road and rail. But despite their rivalries, they are both, deep down, very good friends, ever since their big race many years ago. However, on some occasions, they do have a few hiccups beyond their rivalries. But in this particular situation, one side was scared to fight the other. It all went down one morning when Thomas was waiting for Bertie to give him his passengers for his morning run on the branch line, when he saw James puffing up.
Oh, hello there, Thomas.
Good morning, James. Say, what's in those box vans? I thought you hated pulling trucks.
Well, usually, there's a very special event taking place on the Skarloey Railway.
What's the occasion?
I'm pretty sure you know about the bookstore at the end of the platform next to me, right?
Yes?
Well, apparently, there's a Wales extravaganza event, and all the narrow gauge engines are going to represent themselves as all their siblings from the Telephone Railway. The boxes in these vans carry copies of the many books created by the Reverend Audrey about the little engines, and I'm going to take them to Croven's Gate for passengers and visitors taking part in the event.
Wow, that is special.
Well, it kind of stinks that I'm not part of these books, considered how splendid my paintwork is.
The only thing people get out of you is your incident with some tar wagons.
Oh, shut up, Thomas! You're just jealous of the fact that red is the only proper color of an engine.
Oi, that's my line.
While the two engines were bickering, Bertie arrived with Thomas's passengers, but the two engines were too busy arguing to notice him. They also didn't know that he was very tired and worn out, and his eyes were as heavy as 99 million pound barbells.
You know what? I'd rather not have this debate. Remember what happened with that red versus blues rivalry back in 2015?
Yeah, you're right.
Bertie tried to remain chill, but James and Thomas were too busy being chatterboxes for him to handle, and he was starting to get very annoyed.
You know, speaking of Percy showing up at the last minute, I think his soccer team would probably be the Marin facility. After all, I remember you were decorated in their color section.
Well, you two, shut up! I'm trying to relax after a long night, but all I hear are you two blabbing your stupid mouth off!
Both the tender and tank engine were speechless, especially Thomas. He had never heard Bertie shout like that before, but before he could say something, the guard blew his whistle and he had to puff away, with two concerned coaches following his buffers.
What was that about?
But Bertie didn't answer. He just rolled silently away.
He's even more strange than that one passenger I saw at Kildane.
What's the name of this place?
Kildane.
And, what does it mean in, the subject language?
Church of the Devil. Don't you know about the standing stones on the Peel Godred line?
Yeah, about that, I think Church of the Devil works better because, Kildane is, kind of offensive.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you see, I have this friend who's named, Dane, and, you saying Kildane makes him want to rise from the dead and kill you.
Hey, wait a minute, you're the guy from the phone!
Got ya! Later, sucky station master!
Get back here, I'm calling the police!
Did you get him yet? We got him! Now start the car and get the frick out of here!
For the rest of the day, Thomas ran like clockwork along his branch line. He was glad to be really useful. Although during his work, he was very confused as to why Bertie would shout at him like that. He was rather worried for his friend. Annie and Clarabelle could tell, and they wanted to help their engine, but they didn't know how. When Thomas reached the end of the line, he noticed some empty trucks parked in the siding right next to him.
Wonder what they're doing here.
And he was about to get the answer when the station master walked up to him.
Hey Thomas, could you do me a favor?
What is it, sir?
Percy was meant to bring those empty trucks to the Enofa quarry to be filled with stone for Knapford Harbor, but he's got a cracked cylinder, and now he's being repaired. Could you take those trucks for him?
Yes, sir.
Are you alright, Thomas?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Just got a bit on my mind at the moment. I'll get to it once I'm uncoupled from my coaches.
Okay, very well then.
So it was arranged. While Stanley took Thomas's train back to Knapford, the blue E2 was coupled to the trucks and set off down the quarry line. He was still thinking about Bertie and wasn't sure what to do. But unbeknownst to him, he was in for a big surprise that was waiting at the quarry.
Now remember, don't say anything until I reveal you. Here he comes!
Hello there, Thomas. What's up?
Oh, hello there, you two.
Is everything all right?
Oh, I'm okay.
Maybe this will cheer you up. We've got a surprise we've been wanting to show you.
Really? What is it?
All you have to do is close your eyes. We'll let you know when you can open them, and your surprise will be waiting.
Okay.
2 seconds later. Is this really necessary, Tom?
Okay, I have them closed.
Perfect. Now just wait a minute.
Okay, you can open them now.
Aren't you supposed to be the surprise?
Indeed I am. It's so lovely to see you again.
Thomas was confused, but then he realized.
You look sort of familiar. Have we met before? Wait a minute. Aren't you?
Yep, that's me.
Cinders and Ashes! Victoria?
Victoria is an old branch line coach that used to work with Edward back in the old days of the Furness Railway. She was turned to a summer house in a garden near Elsbridge up until Thomas's crew discovered her and brought her to Crovan's Gate to be restored back into her former glory. She was mainly used as an extra coach with Toby and Henrietta, taking the workmen to and from the quarry. But in 2007, she was in need of another refurbishment. But around that time, she was used less and less as the work for her was decreasing.
Sir Stephen Stone had decided to put me on the local stopping services, especially Emily, running from Knapford all around Crovan's Gates and looping the Great Waterton. So, I was repainted in a dark green livery and given to her. She was a really lovely engine, though I will say, she was a bit bossy to some at first. But we were both relaxed in those quiet journeys through the countryside every day. However, my age is catching up after a while, and I needed to be refurbished again. The Earl of Sodor and Sir Tom had decided to use me as a special private coach on the Easted Railway at Gilstead Castle. I just got out of my overhaul, and today, I'm being teased as the coach carrying the workmen to make sure I'm in good working order.
Oh, so that's where you've been all this time? Well, it's nice to see you again.
Likewise, number 1.
Thomas was very glad to see Victoria again. But then, his smile went away as he went back to being deep in thought.
Are you okay, Thomas?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. It's just...
What is it?
Well, earlier today, when I was at Knapford, I was picking up passengers from Bertie the bus. But when I was talking with another engine, he just yelled at us for no reason, telling us to shut up. I wanted to ask him why, but by then, I had to leave. Since then, during today's run, I've been kinda shocked and confused. I've never seen him act like that before.
Did he say why he lose his temper?
No, I don't think so. Although, he did say something about not being able to rest after a long night because of us.
So there you go. He probably took his anger out of you because he had a bad day. Like you said, he would never act that way towards you. Unless he had a good reason.
Well, you do have a decent point, but I don't know.
Well, can I mention something to you? Not too long ago, during the summer, there was a lot of work to do around the quarry, and I was working very hard. But my engine overheated in the sun, and I had to be sent to the diesel works to be repaired. But I was so stressed with the work going on and my repairs that I took my anger and stress out on Den and Dart. But I eventually apologized to them and calmly waited for my engine to be fixed.
And as for me, I used to be harsh on Mavis when she was new at the quarry, and young too, but we both become a pair of really wise engines.
You see, even the nicest people lose their temper every once in a while.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I may as well carry on being useful for the rest of the day and not worry about some silly incident. He was probably just having a bad moment.
Exactly, Thomas. I'm sure he'll apologize to you later on.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
And once his trucks were filled with stone, he delivered them to Knapford Harbor right on time. Eventually, the day's work was done, and Thomas was parking his coaches in the carriage shed. He was just about to leave, when suddenly...
Huh?
Thank goodness I found you, Thomas. Phew.
Bertie was red in the face and very worn out, but he also had some beans to spill.
So, why are you here?
Listen, Thomas, I'm so sorry about what I said earlier. I didn't mean to make you upset, but I've been feeling bad about it all day.
Yeah, why did you shout at me earlier? That's not like you at all. I mean, you do get upset whenever I brag about winning, but still.
Well, yesterday the bus manager told me that Leland had broken down and I had to cover his shift at Vickerstown. I tell you, traveling through the big city was very different than the peaceful branch line. It was dark when I was traveling through the Knapford Highway to get back to the sheds, but there was an accident going on and it took hours for me to move again. And I only got a little bit of sleep before I had to start work. The reason I yelled at you was because I was trying to rest a bit, but you and James were talking too loudly for me to do so.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm sorry for talking too loud when you were tired.
And I'm sorry too, for taking my anger out on you and James when you didn't deserve it.
Well, you know, Bertie, everyone has off days every once in a while. I have them as well. But I'm always trying my best to grow in a useful way. And I forgive you. After all, tomorrow's another day.
Thank you, Thomas. Say, when you're pulling your local train tomorrow, care for another race?
Oh, you betcha. I'm gonna beat you this time.
Good night, Thomas.
Good night, Bertie.
With that said, Thomas puffed back home after a long day of friendship, looking forward to a good night's rest and waking up to a fresh start for the both of them.